So guys, actually this video is all about the things that we love about the writing community, but before we get into those things, I wanted to talk about something very important, which is that we reached 13K followers together on Instagram. Yeah. Can you imagine this? And the reason I'm saying we is because we did it together. I didn't do it by myself. We did it together, guys. Can you believe it? Wow. The number of my followers has been stuck for a long time, and I've been really sad because of that. I'm always saying that it doesn't really matter, that it doesn't define your talent and your poetry and everything like that. And I'm actually still thinking that way, but no matter how much we try, it still lifts us up to see that more people are joining the community, and I'm very sad about that. Yay! So, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for reading and listening to my poetry. And thank you for just being there with me on this beautiful journey, because I'm incredibly happy and lucky to have all of you guys. Mwah! So let's get into the video now, because for some reason I decided that this video is not going to be as long as the previous ones, because it feels like my videos are too long, and sometimes I'm like, would people even want to watch this, because it feels like it's really long and blah 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 and stuff like that. So for this video, I decided to kind of experiment and see whether it really impacts the views or just you guys' interest, whether it kind of has a connection to the time or not. So I wanted to film a video on the things that we really love about the poetry and writing community, because I was just, there was a few times in the past like month or so when I really got to the point where I was like, I really love this community. Oh, and here's why I love this community and I don't like the other one. And so similar thoughts like that, and I'm like, okay, so I have to share all the reasons why I love it. And then I was like, okay, but why only me? Because I also participated in a writer's lift, so people were getting to know each other, and the question wasn't like, why do you love the poetry community? They were just introducing themselves, and after that they usually emphasized the fact that they really like the community. And I was like, see, I'm not the only one, and I have to talk about this, and this should be just talked about in general. So I decided to kind of take the things that I love about the poetry community and also ask you guys what you love about it and just talk about it for a little bit. So the first thing is obviously that it lets us positively share our feelings, and I love that a lot, because it kind of gives you the opportunity to freely share whatever you're feeling without thinking that you might be judged, because knock on the wood, I haven't really seen many cases where people really judge each other for feeling a certain way in the poetry community. And so many of you are so positive and are really supportive of each other. So that's one thing that I absolutely agree that I love about the poetry community. How supportive everyone is. People have been so welcoming and friendly. That's so true. That's absolutely true. Because it feels like the whole community is separated from all of the other communities on Instagram, and because the positivity level is just out of this world. It's on another level. I haven't seen other people from different, the fan bases or communities being this supportive and this positive towards each other. And I agree with the supporting and welcoming part, because I have so many connections on Instagram. People who are either writers or just love to write or just love to read what others write. They're super welcoming and friendly and kind and sweet. Connecting with people who have the same passion and how supportive people are. So see, again, judging from these comments, you'll see how often this comment comes out, because it really is true. People are really supportive, people are really kind, and also the fact that connecting with people who have the same passion is really important, because recently I've realized that even in real life, when I meet somebody who has the same interest and the same passion as I do, that's just another incredible factor that bonds us and kind of brings us together. Even one of my colleagues, I was talking to her, I was just getting to know her, and we were talking about work and other stuff. She was asking me to do something, and then she was like, you know what, as we're getting to know each other, I wanted to say that my dream is actually to become a writer. And I'm like, no, stop it, because it's my dream too. And so we instantly bonded over the fact that we wanted to become writers. So again, see, the same passion always brings everybody together, and in this case it's even more, because people are, it's not like they're jealous of each other or something like that. They keep pushing each other to be more creative and to reach more, which I think is brilliant. Because the community has the power to express their feelings and emotion freely and in a wonderful manner. Yes, and yes. Because it's really, really amazing how I've always thought that it's an incredible talent to be able to put your own feelings and thoughts into words. Because it's really hard and not everybody can do it. And also another talent is putting other people's feelings and thoughts into words, because you're not actually feeling those things. You might not be feeling those at the moment, and then you're just taking those words and putting it, those feelings and thoughts, and putting it into words, and you're like, I'm gonna make other people feel just the way that person is feeling right at the moment. Yeah, absolutely agree. Somebody wrote you. That's so sweet. Thank you. I love you too. Mwah. And also Miriam wrote you too. She was like, we love you. And yes, this is what it's all about, the caring community with lots of love. I love you too, Miriam. Thank you for mentioning me, because wow, if I'm a factor that you love about the writing community, that's just another kind of honor. And thank you so much, and I'm very touched, and that's very, very sweet. I love you guys too. Mwah. And yeah, the way that people care about each other and the amount of love is just, wow. I wanted to find a word, and then I was like, no, that's just wow. It got me speechless the first time that I was getting like so much love from people. I'm like, wow, there are so many good people in the world. And we're usually, when thinking about social media, I don't know about you, but I always have this feeling of negativity, of people being judgmental of each other, and people just constantly hating on each other. And then there's this community, which is like the other part, a totally, absolutely different part of the internet. And I'm like, I'm in love with this community. It's just too amazing. And then, oh yeah, the way they express themselves. Again, the same thing as somebody also mentioned there over there as well. Absolutely true. The way people express themselves and the way people get so creative with their feelings, with their kind of artsy mentality is just too beautiful for this world. And I'm really happy about that, because first of all, it's good because you are always trying to be creative yourself. And then if you see somebody is really, really creative, you learn from them. And also you're like, oh, this person did this. So how can I be myself and not take their idea, but still be a little more creative with the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm writing? Absolutely true. Poetry, word, and feeling. Yes, the way that people feel and the way that people really try to take everything that is inside and make you feel the same thing, whether you're going through that kind of a situation or not. Those were the things that you guys wrote. And now let's get into the things that I wrote. And actually, most of them, I think that even all of them might be the same things that people wrote in the comments as well, but I still wanted to kind of emphasize my own perspective as well there. So the first one is the connections that I made. So I really, really love the connections that I made, because I haven't met those people in real life, and that's incredible and just amazing how we can maintain those connections via internet and still, you know, talk to each other. It doesn't really mean that we have to talk to each other every single day, but we're really, really close. There are so many people who are texting me like, how are you? I missed you. How are you doing? How's your work? How are you feeling? And even the fact that whenever I'm posting the question box so that people can ask me questions, so many people are asking me how I am doing, which I feel is one of the most genuine questions ever, because you're not asking like, what's your favorite color, which again I really, really love, and it's really interesting. But so many people are asking how I'm doing, because I absolutely feel how genuine and deeply concerned they are. They're always like, oh, you're doing okay, are you, you know, are you stressed, or please don't overwork. I even have a friend who's always like, please don't overwork yourself, please stay hydrated and go to sleep earlier, because I don't know, you have to go to work, and please just be really mindful of yourself and your health. And I'm like, that's so sweet. That's incredible, because we haven't met each other. Okay, you have seen me, but I haven't really seen you guys. But still, that doesn't really mean that we've met each other in real life. And just knowing that there are people from all over the world caring about you is the sweetest thing ever. Yeah. The second one is making it kind of the poetry. I love the fact that they make me change the way I think and feel about things, because I've always been a very, very, very emotional person, and sometimes I was like, I wish I didn't feel things as deeply as I do, because sometimes it's too much for me. And I've said that in a few videos, I guess, here as well. But still, I've always been an emotional person, but now, thanks to this community, I think that I've become even more sensitive and more empathetic and more emotional than I was, because people are talking to me, this is mind-blowing, people are texting me to talk about their personal lives. They're talking about their breakups, their one-sided loves, the things that they're going through. And the thing that surprises me and shocks me the most is that a lot of the times people are like, you know what, I don't have anybody to talk to about this, or I don't really want to talk to anybody about this, I just want to talk to you about this, is that okay? Which just blows my mind every single time, because I'm like, oh, so you care about me so much, you value my opinion, and so much that you want to talk to me, or I'm making you comfortable enough for you to want to talk to me. And now that I'm going through different situations in my life, I'm like, okay, so remember that people are really taking this thing in this way, or they're going through that in that way. So please just be sensitive of this, be understanding, be really careful with the way that you put things. For example, let's say I hear many stories about breakups and about one-sided loves, many stories. And whenever somebody confesses to me and I have to reject that person because I don't feel the same way, I'm like, okay, remember the people's feelings, the way that they're feeling, what hurt them. And they always talk about the things that really hurt them. They talk about how they felt when somebody said this and that. And then I'm like, okay, so be really careful of to not say this, to put it in a way that doesn't really hurt that person, but also is understandable as a rejection. And so millions of things are going through my mind, but I really appreciate it because it gives me another perspective of like putting myself in the shoes of that person even more. And this is just one situation, but there are so many. And the positivity obviously, inspiring each other, and also leaving positive comments and supporting, which is so sweet. And one of the main reasons why I haven't stopped writing yet are the people following me, because they're always encouraging me, they're supporting me, they're leaving positive comments, not letting me give up, because there were many times that I wanted to give up. Let me be straight here. And there are so many times where I am posting sad pieces and then they're like, don't think about this, you're gonna be okay, please just don't be sad and everything. It might not always be about me, but still, the fact that people want to support you, even just like being in different countries, they're like, I want to be there for you, I want to be by your side, I want to support you, even if it's just with words, because it's really, really meaningful to me. And also the fact that people try hard to inspire each other. They're not like, you know what, I'm writing, you are writing, my followers might be your followers in the future, and then might just leave my account, so I'm not gonna inspire you, I'm not gonna give you creative ideas, blah blah blah, so that I get followers and you don't. There's no such thing in this community, and that's one of the most beautiful things about it, because so many writers are posting each other's pieces on their stories. They're always reposting, resharing, and the fact that people really value each other's work and put their own like ego and their own talent aside is another kind of talent that not everybody does, and that's just another kind of power as well. And I guess the last thing for this video would be the fact that people mention each other under my posts, which is like, for example, I'm writing something romantic and then people are tagging each other, and then they kind of talk to each other in the comments, for example, and that means the world to me. That's the best thing in the world, trust me. Whenever you wrote something romantic and then somebody mentioned their loved one, and then that loved one comes and then they're like, oh, I love you too, oh my god, this is so sweet, you made my day. That whole situation, like witnessing a romantic situation or just another kind of situation that people really try to either support each other through my posts, for example, I'm motivating or I'm trying to inspire or try to, you know, kind of bring you back to your feet whenever you're falling and thinking that you can't go on anymore. And then those kind of situations, or romantic kinds of situations, or, you know, friendship related posts, people are tagging each other and creating those small situations. That is the best gift for a writer, and whenever I see that, it just lights my day and makes me the happiest person in the world. So I wouldn't say those were all the things that I love about the poetry and the writing community, because there are so many. Those are the things that came to mind when I instantly thought of that question, but I'm gonna think about more things. And if you have more things to add, please comment below, and I'd be very interested to know what you think, what your additions are, and, you know, just let's support each other, let's love each other, and let's just live overall just like we live in the writing and poetry community, which is supporting each other, loving each other, lifting each other up, and just caring about each other unconditionally and deeply. It feels like I kind of finished the whole thing with a TED talk, but still, that's what I was feeling at the moment. I really love you guys. Thank you so much for being with me. I love you, and congratulations to our 13K.